name is Agnes. I'm gonna talk about discrimination. Discrimination is a knot of difference between things. It can be happen in many ways. The type of discrimination is sex discrimination, exclusion discrimination, sexual harassment, and mockery. Discrimination can affect organization, company, along with the employees. Who is the victim? It usually a minority, for example, women. But it also happens to men. In Google, 3 female employees have filed a class action lawsuit, claiming that Google systematically lower pay for women. However, in Ventura Corporation, they refused to hire men as a sales representative. That is a discrimination against men. In the past, people present this issue by presenting the law about the discrimination. But now, they directly write about the people file a class action lawsuit.
My name is Aaron Kevin Sales. I will talk about workplace diversity. Workplace diversity refers to the differences between peoples in an organization. It encompasses sex, gender, ethnic group, and many more. However, we have to admit that diversity contains a little scent of discrimination. There are many types of discrimination. One of them is sex discrimination. Sex discrimination, or more known as gender discrimination, is differences in treatment between men and women. As we know, there are no consistent differences between men and women in terms of problem-solving ability, analytical skills, motivation, and so on. However, discrimination exists when women get paid less than men in same positions and they have fewer professional opportunities. We can refer to Irish Times News. They have wrote a story about sex discrimination in Google's tech company. The company was sued due to the gender discrimination. That was because they have paid women less than women in equal positions. Other big companies such as Microsoft was also sued in 2015 on behalf of the female engineer, claiming men are favored in advancement. To be specific, Katie Mosoris was discriminated along with her female colleagues due to their gender. She was also not promoted enough, even though she's more than good to be promoted rather than the men who get promoted even though they are not qualified enough. The other one is sex harassment. Sex harassment does not only focus on unequal pay. The other one is sex harassment. Sex harassment does not only focus on unequal pay, working conditions, or advancement opportunities, though this can come in play too. Rather, sex harassment involves teasing, sexual advances, and unwelcome touching. It might involve jokes or taunting directed at an individual because of her gender. It can include promises of promotion or pay raises in exchange for sexual favors, although sexual harassment is not limited to interaction with victims' employer or supervisor. To New York Times News, Harvey Weinstein was accused for numerous allegations of sexual harassment, sexual assault, and sex rape. The accusations cost him his job, where the Weinstein Company board fired him. Emily Nestor, a temporary employee, was invited by Harvey Weinstein to the same hotel and made an offer. If she accepted his offer, he will boost her career. Other cases involving a female assistant, where he was forced her to give him a massage while being naked and leave her crying and distraught. From here, we can see that Weinstein has sexually discriminated his employees. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Ervinder Mendinson. We also have conducted personality and value concept in our topic. Personality is a dynamic concept describing the growth and development of a person's whole psychological system, while value is a basic conviction about what is right, good, or desirable. Workplace diversity can be defined as a similarities and difference among employees in terms of age, cultural background, physical abilities and disabilities, race, religion, sex, and sexual orientation. In our study, we found that personality and values concept important to workers or employee in the daily routine in workplace. It is because they can practicing moral values that emphasize in those concepts which leads in how to address specific problems in our workplace so we can maximize customer satisfaction and achieve vision and mission within our company or organization. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Titya Krasya. I will explain about the best alternative on how to handle the gender discrimination in workplace based on the article we have chose. So the first one is based on the average time articles 2017. The Google companies are said to have a gender discrimination issue where male employees are paid more than female workers. It focused on the female workers at Google companies are complaining about the companies give a payroll unequal. In this issue, the government should make a report on pay data mandatory. The Google companies need to review their remuneration structures and report for their findings. There has been no government push for greater transparency around pay. If the Google companies pay them equally even they have the same skill and qualification as men, these female workers will have the motivation to work in Google companies, thus reducing their productivity and performance in the workplace. And then the second one is it is about the way of gender discrimination give an impact to the companies. In long term, the companies will be deal in the lawsuit demand for gender discrimination. The companies also get a negative publicity as a lawsuit is a negative media attention where the discrimination can garner. The companies might be produce poor performance and difficulty to hiring best quality employees. The companies should raising awareness on equal participation of women and men in economic and social development. The institution or companies should seek to improve the quality of their leadership by creating an awareness, understanding, and by creating an appreciation of different management style in workplace. This can be achieved through training, self-reflection, and various feedback mechanisms for the employers and employees. Specifically, diversity training is really essential in this process. Besides, the company should be considered to contacting the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission (EEOC). Their responsibility is to oversee the compliance for many federal anti-discrimination and anti-harassment laws and the State Equal Employment Agency. Individuals that are being discriminated due to the gender should bring this issue out open so that people can know about it. But if you don't feel comfortable or not appropriate to confess or talk about it, then speak with someone or report to company human resource department. For example, Kathy Moseris earned less than similarly qualified men because of gender bias and company promoted men over equally or more qualified women, and that is manager gave women lower performance review compared with their male peers.
Hi, I'm Eva, and now I'm continue to talk about recommendation on how to handle the gender discrimination. First is start talking about it. Individuals that are being discriminated due to the gender should bring these issues out open so that people can know about it. But if you don't feel comfortable or not appropriate to confess or talk about it, then speak to someone or report to company's human resource department. This will give awareness to the company that there is discrimination occur in the company and they have to take responsibility to make sure it was solved properly. Second, the company or business owner of an organization should provide proper training for their employees. For example, provide training on gender equality to all management personnel and supervisors. With this training, it can teach or train managers what constitutes gender discrimination and inequality. Besides, it trains the manager on how to identify both the obvious and not so obvious signs that gender discrimination is occur in an organization. Managers must also taught to how to deal with the gender discrimination and prevent it from happening again in the future. Next is separating yourself from the stigma. Always remind yourself that your actual ability is to perform a task has no relation or nothing to do with the stereotyping associated with being woman. Change your perspective to focus on your achievement and abilities. Instead of looking through a gender lens, I am the only woman in this meeting, change it to the I am the only person in this meeting with linguistic early childhood development background, which is more focused on your ability and your skills. Last but not least is to make sure all employees have the same access to opportunity. For example, men are more impressive candidates for promotion. This is because men are more likely to spend time with senior executives, work on most important projects, or meet the most valuable clients. Companies should have processes in place so all employees meet the same standard as they progress through their careers. By doing this, we'll make sure they all get the same exposure to training and opportunities. In the other word, women also can get opportunity to go through this process and get the promotion based on the quality of their work.
My name is Marina Maya. I'd like to conclude our topic, which is gender discrimination. Women should be treated equally in workplace. Women or minority go through the same procedure as majority to get a job or how they work. It is unfair to overlook them with just because they are women. As a manager, they must do their job professionally. They should compare men and women based on their work performance or their attitude at work. Some women or some men who got discriminated by their boss or their manager work as hard as they can to live, just like everyone else. They deserve to get a job or a promotion and get the same salary as anyone with the same experience and qualification because of their effort or not simply because of their gender. Thank you.